Welcome to Strength Hammer, where the biggest gains are the friends we made along the way.
Oh,
I like that one.
I like that one a lot. Oh my goodness. I was like, should I just call you Neil? Let's just do the whole bit. I call you Neil the whole time, despite the fact that it has your real name in the bottom left-hand corner. If you are an astute listener or watcher of the show, you will realize that Neil's not on the podcast right now.
Yeah, that 1 hour a week. Whew.
I mean, we talked about his major win. He retired from the game. He's starting his own channel. It's kind of like if you watch, any of those big, like the painting phase. They just said Peachy just left to go do his own thing. That's what Neil's doing. He's going to go do his own thing. It's going to be wildly popular, So I'm tired of you.
Which is weird. I thought the painting phase was Peachy's channel.
No, it never was. But if you didn't catch it like right when it started, it was like a collaborative thing, and he was part of it. But
yeah, I guess
that's all jokes. He wants to do what he wants to do, which I think is more painting focused than maybe the talk show focus, which is kind of a shame. He was really good at the talk show portion.
Yeah, he was really good at it. I really liked him. He has a really good personality for it.
Yeah, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to continued painting phase as well as the new Peachy. So go subscribe to that if you haven't already. And if you're here, make sure you subscribe to Strength Hammer and you like.
Yeah, because
smash those buttons.
Power Hour's coming up in just a few weeks.
It's true. And you want to listen to that because, it's not just the 84th episode of a podcast. It's some random month with Big M's Power Hour, part of the Strength Hammer Network.
Yeah. Part of a conglomerate.
Do we need? What would a conglomerate? Do we need more people? Like we could do a Barn Owl show with the local game group.
There you go. You just need to put that on Twitch. That's all you need to do is just stream those on Twitch, like everybody up at the same time.
Oh my gosh, that'd be that. To be fair, we've talked about something, and they're just like, "Oh, Chuck does it. He could." I'm like, no, I'm not. If I'm part of any other YouTube thing, it's showing up.
Chuck, just make the thing happen.
That's what the old world event. It's like, Chuck, you make the pack. You're good at making packs. I'm like, okay. Granted,
I'd like to point out, Big M still has not been officially invited to the event.
Yeah, you have.
I'm not on any of the chats. I haven't received the pack.
I'm gonna go tag you in the chat that you're a part of right now. So,
which one?
The Barn Owls Palooza 2024. If I go down here and I go at Matt Hayward, he did not add you. That son of a bitch. It's okay. I got you. He did. Miss you. Boom. Wow, you're right.
Well, I don't know if he. I don't. Like I said, I don't know if it was a miss or that jackass ain't coming.
No. It was me next to him telling him who to invite, and I don't know why. Just missed it. So you're adding that now.
So you have to remember. First Teyrathi at the barn.
Yeah.
Dispelled the first Bretonnian spell, and he forgot and made him forget it.
Yep.
Then made him run the entire game.
Over rivers.
Second time. Started my entire zombie horde in combat with his guys.
No, you're invited.
Yeah, so
there was problems whenever we had to make the group like 3 or 4 times because like when you add more than like 10 people to a group at once, Facebook on his end was just like screwing up. It's just like,
I'm done.
No, retype, and he's like, I have to retype everything again. I'm like, yeah, you do. All right, but anyway. Go to the Facebook Messenger, and within there you'll see a link to the WhatsApp because we're using WhatsApp, and in the WhatsApp you'll find the pack.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
we heard it, everybody. I'm popular. Yay!
Yeah, that's in. Cool. Yeah, sorry, that was a mistake. Um, but
Oh, no,
anyway,
no. Since, by the way, I just realized since Neil isn't here, I did decide to rep him with the Ren 4 shirt. So there's a
uh,
little bit of Neil here.
since Neil's not here, I'm repping Bulbasaur. Yeah, because it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite hoodies. I always wear it. I love it. Actually, you'll probably, if you look at any video, chances are this is one of the things I'm wearing. Because I'm,
Yeah, as soon as it's cold enough in your basement to need a hoodie.
yeah. Well, it's like this is my comfy casual Pokemon hoodie, and then my going out and looking good one is an angry Pikachu. So it's a blend. You know? It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, Matt, welcome to episode, and everybody, welcome to episode 84 of the Strength Hammer podcast. Now I know last episode I told everybody we're going to do an old world episode this time, and we still will talk old world here at
Yes.
length, but the main topic is going to be something everybody's been waiting for, annoyingly so. And Games Workshop decided to finally drop, called the Battlescroll. Oh my god, Battlescroll! Oh my god, I can't play the game because you're not telling me what to do. Yep.
What I think, I'll give you just a super high level. I'm shocked at how much change they did to have such little impact.
Yeah, I always enjoy when those things drop. I'm like, let me look at all the lists that I had planned out for all my armies, because I always have a list for each army just so I can grab and go if I need to. And there was only one where I was over. Everything else was below. And most I didn't have to add a. It's like, oh, I went from 1980 to 1970. I'm not changing a thing. But KO got up there. So what I did is I dropped my allied rune priest and moved on with my day. I was like, okay, apparently.
For mine, what did I do? I don't know what I did on mine. So there was a hiccup on mine whenever I tried to update it, because I was like 40 points over. So I just deleted my Endrin Master. But it deleted a whole bunch of stuff, because then I went down to 1,500 points and then just built it back up. So it's probably not a good list, but it's what I have painted.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Battlescroll tonight. Excuse me. We're not going to go beat by beat because I don't care that much. And everyone else will do it, including Big M's Power Hour, who will go in depth as... Yeah, so if that's your jam, that's where you'll go. Hang around here. Don't go anywhere else. Warhammer Weekly, show's dead. Don't even go there. Who cares, all right? You know what?
Dead show. No one watches
Face
it.
Hammer? No one. Honest Wargamer? Who even heard of it? Like, just unsubscribe to all those and subscribe to us. Like, I'm kidding. Go check out all those shows and then come and figure out what Matt's trying to say whenever he goes through it.
Like, I show up on my show just drunk and belligerent, just like, Garbage Hat is with the Wizard Finders. I'll show you some Wizard Finders. We might have more subscribers if I did that.
Always gotta go with the villainy arc. I don't know what the rules are on YouTube. Like, you can have alcohol. Like, sure, like I have a beer that I'm sipping out of, but I don't think you can be belligerently drunk. I have a feeling that's something where they might be like, no.
I don't think so. I mean, as long as it's... And plus, if YouTube said anything, you'd be like, he's always like that. I can't help it.
He's not drunk. It's just mad.
Yeah.
Actually, every time he's been not like that is when he was actually drunk. Calms him down. That's the only thing that can tranquilize him. All right. So let's kick off the show as usual, as everyone's used to. Let's talk about fitness. Matt, how's your fitness been? Are you doing any weight loss methods? Like changing your diet or not? Yeah, changing your diet up. Not dieting, but changing your diet up. Or are you doing any more exercise, walking? The weather's been a little bit nicer.
This week I've kind of been taken off for some family stuff, but previously like that, been getting just some general, like just trying to move just a little bit more, but try to do like just trying to do some squats just to try and like build a habit.
Yeah.
And then once I get like the habit build of like, oh, this is workout time, then start building from there. But
just move.
Yeah.
Just move is a good way to start. For me, it's been, every day in February is the 40 push-ups, so I still need to do mine for today, so I'll do that right after this call, after this podcast. Sorry. After that, I've actually had a lighter week so far myself. Work has been crazy hectic, so it's been like home gym workouts, which it's moving, it's putting some weight on a bar, it's doing some motions and stuff. It's not anything I'd say too strenuous for where I'm at in my journey, but it's
All right.
just
I'll
trying
tell
to
you
stay
right now,
consistent.
with this being Valentine's week, I don't think you should just be going through the motions, buddy. You got to put some passion into it.
Hey, let me tell you what. Hey, all right, everybody lean in here. All right, I want you to get real close, real close. I'm gonna get close to the
We're
microphone
gonna
too.
get real close. Hold on,
Get real close. Get
okay.
real
We'll
close.
get close. We'll get
There,
real
there
close.
you go.
Real close.
That's nice. Okay. So you know how to impress your significant other. It is easier
Like,
in this case.
is it getting real close?
It's getting real close.
Real close.
This is easier if you're a guy and your partner's a woman. I'll say that. You go, hey, how much your eyes stream, Matt? So you go to significant other. I go to my wife. I'm like, hey, how much do you weigh? And you think that'd be a bad question, but I mean, you're married. It is what it is, and you get an answer, and then
We're getting a lot of keywords in this.
Yep. So what you do is you get your partner's weight, and then you load up that weight on a barbell, and you proceed to throw it around like it's nothing. Let me tell you, that's a tip for you guys out there, right? Just go ahead and do that.
What if it's uneven?
What's up?
What if it's uneven?
Oh, you always just round up.
So you're making her fatter.
No, I'm throwing more of her weight around than she even has. Lightweight, baby. All right, that's been terrible relationship advice on the Strength Hammer podcast. We shall move on to hobby time.
Hell yeah.
Matt, as the pseudo guest, we will let you go first. Because I also have to remember all the shit.
Since it never works. It never works.
Never works. And
works.
We could plan ahead, and you could we could always have pictures sent to me, but I would still not put them up. That's
going on a little bit of a trip.
Where's Matt going?
Matt? So there we go.
Look at that. If you're listening on the podcast, Matt's showing us all of the rank and flank old world dwarves he's got. Rangers look like Rangers.
Yep, I got 24 Rangers in the works, and then tomorrow Cole is potentially dropping off my last gyrocopter.
Ooh. Now, is your dwarf army fully 3D printed? I can't recall.
If GW had the models available, I went to them first.
Okay, so hammers.
And I 3D printed.
Okay.
Right. So basically like hammers,
Iron Drakes,
the hammers,
Longbeards.
Right. All that stuff. Engineer, 2 Rune Lords, but I don't like the Runesmith model anyway, so
that's fair.
And I don't have any Rune Lords in the army, so guess what? You get a promotion. Also, everyone gets to have fun because this is the Anvil of Doom that Neil printed for me.
It's a baby anvil.
Yes,
it's so tiny. Oh my!
I'm gonna have fun, be able to hide that little teeny.
I think you might want to. Does the anvil? No, the anvil doesn't have a base, does it? Except for recommended base.
No. I specifically. So I thought it did because I bought a big pack of 50 by 50 because that's what everything else is I have.
Right.
So I figure base would. I'll just play around with this until
I have the old.
Until dwarves get.
I have that anvil, so I can put it next to. I can put it next to 50 by 50. I think it's bigger than a 50 by 50.
Well,
I think it's
I like this one because
millimeter.
it's more annoying for now, and GW hasn't confirmed how big it's supposed to be, nor are they selling me an option that I can use. So, this is my protest.
Hey, so real quick, as Old World Talk early in the hobby chat here, did you see the entry for the was it the Thane or whatever it is, but on shield bearers? Did you see the shield bearers? So if you look at the base is, I think it's a 50 by 50. Actually, you know what? I got the book right here. It's live on air. No, this isn't mine. I heard this around the internet.
So they combined the oath or the shield bearers with the palanquin carrier. I forget what that was called previously. So they combine the two. So now there's 3 shield bearers whenever you go that route.
Well, the palanquin is much bigger. That used to be on the old chariot base, which is much bigger than this. And shield bearers always used to be just 2. That's why mine's converted up with 2. There's always been 2. Now that it's 3 and the base is, and if you take 2 dwarves in like even my conversion and you put them on the recommended base size that it has here, 50 by 50, it's a lot of extra space. Which, and here's the thing too: if you were on a giant shield up in the sky being held by people, 3 makes more sense. That's how you stabilize. 3 points stabilizes much better. But I have a feeling whenever we get to dwarves, with that entry, the way that's laid out and the way the base just is too big for it, I think that's the right size base, but I think we're going to get a new model for it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the new model.
Yeah, I think they'll get a new model because like the dwarf standard bearers are so cool. Like you don't need to replace those; they look great.
Right. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to, getting the old Thane with BSB. I had it for a long time, and
the BSB that's doing like the pointy thingy. I want that one. Yeah, I need that one in my life.
Yeah, because I so through the SDLs that I got, I can't remember the name of the guy I went through. He was on My Mini Factory.
Okay.
And it's like a Japanese sounding name, start with a KYO, I think.
Okay.
And the banner, like he didn't have a specific something as the BSB,
right?
But the banner bearer that was for the Dwarf Warrior unit was gigantic.
Oh,
like, that's good enough.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm not expecting it, but I'm hoping that King Thorgrim makes a return, or just his model whenever we do get to dwarves, just because it's the only. My dwarf army is a mix. It's mostly GW. There's a few, I think, Marauder and some other stuff in there. There's actually some female dwarves that I use as Longbeards. I'm not sure if that's Marauder or not. It's probably a different party. But the only thing I could run a whole list, and I have everything as an official GW model somewhere except Thorgrim. I have a 3D print that Neil did for me that I kit bashed up, and it would be nice to have everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, that was in the Ranger unit. That's one of the things where like I was a little like, so the guys that I got all the STLs from did have Rangers in the same sculpt style, but it was a 100% all female unit. And based off of the lore of both Rangers and Dwarf etymology, I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
Because I believe, and this is super old lore, I'm sure they've updated it by now.
Probably, yeah.
Whenever I was reading up, it basically said that 1 in 10 dwarves born was born female.
Oh, so it'd be really stupid to take a whole unit of
exactly.
The
so it's like
part of your species and be like, here, go do stuff.
So you're taking like the coveted, like the most important person in your society and putting them in we know you're gonna die. That's why you're leaving the hold. Like,
yeah, that's fair. My Longbeard's lore, actually, I didn't know that lore. That was the 1 in 10, or at least was. But the reason I have the female Longbeards is, one, because I bought a whole army at once and they were part of it. But I use them as Longbeards because I figured it was the wives of the actual Longbeards who went out and they just went drinking and they got mad, so they're trying to find them. So they joined the second army to go bring their husbands back, who are just out having fun. It's like that.
So that's probably what makes them extra good Longbeards, because they're they're at that point of their matronhood, and
yeah, they got the grumble rule. Like, yeah,
hell yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been in a room and there's 30 angry wives staring at you, but I never have. But I imagine I would do whatever is needed to be done to live.
Yeah, that's we'll save it for the old world talk. But yeah, that's
fun. Okay, that's fun. Um, any games in or anything else going on?
Not yet. I'm still waiting on mini war gaming to get those movement trays sent out.
Oh, the yeah.
Um, I'm sure they're backed up.
Oh yeah,
So
it's
no,
every video I've seen of the people doing like Mountain Miniatures does stuff out there. I watch his streams.
yeah,
Every time he's just like, you can order from here, but there's so many orders, and they actually because I was there end of last year and they had like 20 3D printers and they were adding more,
yeah,
and it's just they have a full
yeah,
time person doing it. They just can't keep up.
right. Well, again, I'm telling you, like the as I've said on Power Hour, I think the biggest problem GW has with Old World is GW itself. Like
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
I went on because I wanted, even though, so I was like, I don't really have too many long beards, and I don't have enough um, iron breakers. Not that I necessarily know if I want to use them or not, but I'd like to have them so if I wanted to use them, I could put them in.
Yeah.
And of course, everything was out of stock, so I went in and put alert. My phone went off, telling me I got an email that they were back in stock. I then went over to the computer, went on, sold out.
I mean, I've heard nothing about. I've heard nothing but that for old world product or stuff that can be used for old world.
Yeah.
Um, because people want to buy because it's
So
exciting.
it's
It's new. It's a new toy, which is worrisome because if people can't get their models,
right.
do they give up?
Right. Well, that's the whole thing is like, I mean, well, so for me, I knew no matter what, I wasn't going to get the official dwarf ranger models because I'm not a fan of them.
Oh yeah,
They don't, to me, like
haha. Yeah, yeah. I like
it's
them,
hard
but
to even tell the difference between, it's hard to tell the difference between a ranger and a quarreler.
oh, that's easy. The Coralors are so bland. Like as the Rangers,
um,
if you look at next to each other, the Rangers have a lot more character, but you're fine. 3D prints go a long way at making all of it better. So
and like I said, these, if I put these on the table and said, could you please point to my dwarf rangers? There's not a soul on the planet that wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
oh yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
it's
yeah,
fun.
like I said, I love these sculpts very much, and I'm very excited to get them done.
Yeah, I mean, why not? And here's the thing: if you decide to just run them as Coilers and not actually Rangers based, because the rules are there's no Rangers, you just upgrade them to be pseudo Rangers. There's always the mountain holds that existed outside the mines, not the holds, but like the settlements is the word I was
Oh well,
looking
don't
for.
worry.
So you can always
So
run
I'll
like as
have,
that, like in your lore.
well, I'll have, yeah, yeah. Well, I'll have 20. I mean, I think no matter what, even if there's not official Ranger Corps, there's always going to be a Ranger need to be filled, whether it's whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this will put me with 24, 24 Rangers here that I can break into 2 units. And I think I have 20 some quarrelers, 20 some uh, um, gunners, handgunners,
Mm-hmm.
which I can't remember, thunderers.
Ah,
uh, 24 iron drakes. So I got all the range I need. Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair.
Need to get one more cannon printed, but we'll get there.
I saw. I'm probably gonna steal this idea if I do like an exiled lord for my Bretonian army when I get there. Which
Hmm.
that my Tomb Kings and Bretonian box are just sitting over here on my bits pile. Like they're all together, but they're so far in the future this year. I'm not even worrying about them. But I saw someone take the Cities of Sigmar cannon and just rip the front off, which is easy because it's not attached, and
Right.
just put some Bretonian shields and some like stuff around it, like very minimal kit
Mm.
bashing, and it looked like a great cannon, like just a nice, cool, great cannon that fit old world. I was like, oh, I'm gonna steal that if I do the Exile army. But you can always do that for a dwarf cannon too. Like it does fit
Yeah,
nicely
yeah.
and it looks pretty good.
Well, the thing is, I'm such a stickler for matching. I already have one cannon, so I
Mm,
just want another cannon that matches. So,
that's fair.
and again, I already have the SDLs, and I already have people willing to print. So,
That's true. That's true. Well, my hobby time. Let's see. Oh, hey, you know what? Bought my monthly white dwarf. Haha, haven't read it yet. That's pure nostalgia. That's why I still buy these.
yeah, I'm sure you read it for the articles. That's,
Some articles. Actually, I read it for the lore. They put such great short stories in here. Like phenomenal. That's worth the price alone. There's usually 2 in here and like 140K, one fantasy. But anyway,
Mhm.
that's beside the point. My biggest focus lately has been Cities of Sigmar, which let me see if I got a model nearby. Yeah, here's one freshly done. Yeah, the thing that doesn't work. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Yay.
Yay. Um, you might be asking yourself if you look at the video, like, what Cities of Sigmar model is that? That's the death guy from the Command Corps.
Oh, okay.
It's my conversion because I hate the Command Corps models. Like, there's only one thing in that whole box I like, and it's the bear guy with the axe. I'm like, I'm not buying that whole thing for that. So I kit bash my whole Command Corps. I have to right size bases, and my death person is a Sylvaneth spirit with a scythe.
Easy
But
enough.
yeah, it works. Yeah, I'm chugging along through that army because I plan to have it done by this coming weekend. Because last month we had the Empires of Ghyran campaign, and I
Yeah.
had the whole army built and primed and Zenithalt. And my club members, because at the club we always try to play painted models. It's kind of a rule we have. There's leeway, but if you're part of that club, you bring a painted model. Um, I was like, I don't have time. Sorry, because I was doing GW shit, which I'll be able to do a video on that here soon, thankfully, because all this stuff's finally out. Um, uh, but I said, don't worry, I'll have this painted by next time. And I said that half jokingly, but then I started painting it, and I was just like, oh man, we're crushing through it. So I have 5 models left and 1 day to paint it, which is very easy since I'll do some painting before I go to bed tonight. So that army will be done. So expect next week to get the final of the Cities of Sigmar diary, where I do the grand reveal and video and not just pictures. That should be fun. It's such an enjoyable project, I have to say. The only unit I have not enjoyed painting was the Wildwood Rangers that are proxies for my Dark Riders. And it's not because I hate those models. Those models paint out beautifully. It's because they have so many. I snapped an antler, a horn, a staff, a flat, something off of every one of those damn models, and it's just like from like looking up above it, it looks fine. But if you got down like and looked
Yeah.
straight at the banner bearer, his pole, the staff goes boop, boop, boop. Like it's a Z. It's like I don't, because I just started like all right, glue it to here, attach it to some part of his body. Who cares? Just be done. Um, and after that will be my high elf army, which I've gotten a couple games in. Did a teaching game with Alex, a friend of the show. I had him come over to the house. I took my high elf army, 1,000 points, and I built for him a dark elf army because I had it here and I wanted to kind of build an army for it. Went through the game, got him sort of the basics down. I'm sure we got stuff wrong as you do early on. Good game. He was able to take it out because dark elves are good in combat.
Yeah.
And they're really good against high elves in combat. This is a combat game, so like boy,
Do they have hatred high elves?
yes.
Okay.
And some of them have murderous, so they'll get rerolled to ones to hit and wound against high elves. So it's like, oof. Yeah, and they're just as quick, so
What's he planning on making for
he's
overall?
gonna be doing orcs and goblins.
So we're just gonna be surrounded by freaking orcs and goblins then.
And high elves apparently, because everyone now. Yeah, he does have his high elves, and there's the conversion trays, but yeah, he wants to do orcs and goblins. I told him about like he has a goblin army already, the Gitz army. I was like, just go get the conversion trays from Mini Wargaming and just start playing with that, like, and then add orcs as you see fit.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see how that army plays out, because I know, like, again, proxy as as someone from the outside, it looked like the only thing that was really keeping the orcs and goblins under control last time was animosity, and without that being there, we'll see where.
Well, so far, most of the people in the area that are interested in orcs and goblins are just like, I just want to run goblins. I just want to run goblins. And then they get mad because I need to bring a black orc so I don't have this issue. I'm like, the book is called Orcs and Goblins. So
Right.
yes, you need to have, yeah, it's it's a force. Like if you want to see a mixed force, that's what it would
Right.
be in the old world. It'd be mixed of all of them. It wouldn't be Sigmar where here's all the orcs and here's all the goblins and they don't talk too often.
Well, if they're bitching about having to bring orcs, I want to see a single snotling pump wagon anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. True. That works. Let's see.
That's what
My
I'll do. I'll just bring a giant army of just snotlings. Can you still field single snotlings, or are they only in
I have
the?
zero idea. I have not looked at that. Like still, if you want to look at my I'm gonna pull out my Ravening Hordes book right here. You see that I've still not removed the bookmark, means I have not even opened this book yet because I'm just trying to make sure I learn my high elf stuff more than anything else.
High elves. Why are you learning high elves?
Because I play high
But
elves
you're
for Old World.
but you're doing but you're doing someone else.
No, no, I went back to my first love of high elves and just gonna enjoy them.
Ugh. Oh, I'm thinking of Neil that changed over to the greenskins
Yeah,
as well.
he was a high elf and he went to greenskin. He's gonna regret it.
Orc mob, goblin mob, snotling mob.
Yeah.
What? 35 points? I can't be per model.
No, that's probably for.
Oh, so it is because they're on 40 mil by 40 mil basis.
Oh, so they're
So
groups, yeah.
it's a giant mound of what we got?
Are they
6 wounds.
Oh, so they're swarms essentially.
Yeah,
Okay.
5 movement, two weapon skill, 2 ballistic skill, 2 strength, 2 toughness, 6 wounds, 3 initiative, 5 attacks, 4 leadership, 35 points. Hand weapons and throwing weapons.
Yeah, that's fun.
Unit size 2+.
Yep, they're just swarms. That's fine.
Oh, open order skirmishers. That'll be fun to see in a group of 20 by 20.
I wonder if there's. Anyway, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to theory craft that. I bet you could do that, and then you get thrown out of whatever event or club you're in.
Behold, my 160 point or 120 wound skirmish unit.
I would not even deploy. I would pick the person up and throw them out the door. That's why I live, to throw people like that out windows. First story, always
You've
first
been
story.
snattling.
I did get a second game in at Club Night this past week as well,
Nice.
against Mark, and he had his Bretonnian army, and got, well, I don't want to say I got ran over. I lost,
Mhm.
but like there's a couple tricks I was trying, and like I misplayed it a little bit, like with my Sea Guard, and then just like Swordmasters got. Swordmasters didn't do as well as I wanted to. And White Lions, I got double. I guess the problem is I misplayed positioning and I was getting double charged all over the place. Like my Swordmasters actually did okay because they did not get double charged, but like White Lions got destroyed, Seaguard got destroyed. Sisters of Avalorn continue to be the best damn unit in the game, and I'm so in love with it. I love them. They were baller in 8th, and they're just doing well for me now. And I love having a unit of 20 of them skirmish.
Wow, that's nuts.
It is. Plus, also, it's like, oh, you charge them. Okay, well, I can always stand and shoot. Doesn't matter the distance, unless you have the Bretonnian flag that says you can't stand and shoot. Fucking sucks. I gotta figure that out. Also, I gotta figure out the Green Knight. He's not a problem, but he's a challenge. Because Mark took the Green Knight. He took essentially the cavalry list.
Mhm.
But he had the Green Knight and he had the Lady Zukar, the named Enchantress. She's not an issue at all. She's fine. She's a cool character. No issues there. The Green Knight feels like an issue because he's ethereal and he keeps coming back. So I just chose to ignore him, which doesn't really work well. Because he's skirmish, individual character, he's always going to go where the hell he wants and get the right charges and flanks. But he's unstable. Like you can deal with him. He's only 4 wounds, but it's hard, and you need to make sure that it's gonna be really hard to deal with him because you need to position your stuff that has the magic attacks appropriately to fight him. But he has a much easier time just avoiding you if he wants.
Mhm.
So it's a challenge. It's not an issue.
Yeah.
At first, like when I was reading the rules, I was like, "Son of a bitch!" I'm like, "Oh no!" Like when he's on the field, I'm like, okay, I see what I could do. I just need to be more cognitive to do it. But anyway, had fun with that. It was a 2,000 point game. My first, no, actually my second 2,000. This is my first real 2,000 point game. We did like a test early 2,000 point game on the rules. We had like the man read books PDFs out. Everything
Yeah.
else has been like 1,000 points or so, which I'm so sick of 1,000 point games. They're so boring. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to do 1,500 at least.
Yeah, I have to say, one thing, I was surprised to see. So again, there's a lot of surprise, not surprise, because kind of keep multiple thoughts in my head at the same time. Where it's like, okay, so for Old World, you want to make sure that you touch on, the things that people enjoyed in days gone by, and I wasn't sure how much they were going to interject, what we've learned from AOS in there.
Sure.
Which doesn't seem to be a terribly lot. So like I was kind of expecting, like, I think one of the things I was expecting to take away was, hey, we've learned since 8th edition that objectives and straight death matches aren't always the way to go. And the core of this game is clearly deathmatch.
Right. And there's like small ways to adjust it based upon scenarios, but one, that's the most comfortable way, and two, with movement being much more restrictive, it would be harder to make it to be a purely objective game. I feel so. I'm not saying that I'm not saying there's no other ways to do a rank and flank game. I'm just saying I don't know what they are.
Right.
And I'm okay. Like, it's fun just to show up and just like, let's just kill each other. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, because again, that's not fun in AOS.
No, it's terrible in AOS.
It is for about 3 games, and then you go, put some objectives on the table, please.
Well, I remember whenever we started playing AOS early on, and every match, like the first game, I'm looking at the giant mess in the middle. I'm like, I don't know what to do, but this isn't right. Like,
right.
Very quickly, it was like, steal the War Machine ones. Like, okay, those work. Let's have fun with this, and it made the game instantly better. But for rank and flank, I like it as the kill points personally. But that could be comfort, nostalgia, whatever you want. But it's my opinion. It's my podcast, so I'm right. There we go.
Well, considering I've played, I believe, 7 games of Warhammer Fantasy.
I played 7 like in the past week. It feels like sometimes.
Yeah, I've played 7 games. I believe I've lost 2. So that's.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but there is a moment where I'm like, man, I keep list building, I keep theory crafting, and I have the list I'm going with for high elves or the models to start. I will add more. I will get that dragon from you, sir, one day. That you just have sitting there. But I have it and I like it. It's just now it's learning how to play the army with what I have, because I don't think there's anything really bad in high elves. Like, I could pick from anything and be like, cool, I can build a list from this, no problem.
See, with dwarves, it's interesting because I don't think there's a bad unit in the army, but I think since they are bordering on elite, there's just some things that, as good as they are, you just don't have room in your army for them.
Yeah, you have more traps. Like, how are you building? Like, how are you building it? Which fancy unit do you really want to lean into? Is kind of like what your choice is.
Right. Like, I would say, I think probably the closest thing to a trap beyond the bolt thrower and grudge thrower. I think the only other real and again, I think those you could learn how to use them, and I think you could get some oomph out of them depending on who your opponent is. But I think the only one that is, like, unfortunately, the majority of the time a trap is going to be the Iron Breakers, because they are so expensive,
right?
And they do. And what's funny is they do exactly what they're supposed to do, but the problem is that's not what you need to do in order to win a game.
Well, I'm thinking it depends on the pack you're going with. So, like, if you go to the pack in, like, the Lone Watchtower, whatever it is, where you need to have a unit of 10 to take the tower, And if you hold the tower, you win. You get so many victory points.
Right.
If that's in your list or your list of an event pack, I would absolutely bring those 10 guys because
Right.
I would do they deploy in the most direct straight line towards that tower in the center, and they would just run at it and get in there because once you get them in there,
Right.
they're gonna hold that all day.
Right. Now but the only issue is if you're not playing Watchtower.
Well, you're not gonna play for 10 of them. If Watchtower's
Well,
a
the thing is,
scenario, I feel like those 10 are worth the points in the other 4 games because they'll win you that one game.
the problem is for every Iron Breaker you bring
Mm-hmm.
is one hammerer you're not.
Right.
Because again, honestly, what it is you get up to that halfway point of core, which you're just going to do some sort of medley of Ranger, Quarreler, and Warrior.
Yeah, your gun wall.
And then once you're done with that, you're going to take probably 1 or 2 War Machines, 1 or 2 Gyrocopters, and then that leaves you with enough points for a group of hammerers, and that's it. That's going to be your list.
Sure.
90% of the time.
Which is why I'm excited to start doing our shows on these, where we'll build a couple lists and talk about it because like I want to have you on for the dwarf one for sure. But yeah, it's fun, like I said, but I'm just trying to learn my army, learn how to play it better. And I can't complain that, like, I can't be mad at Mark. His plan in every game since we started playing with his Bretonians is line them up and go forward, cast some spells on the way, and it's all he's doing. And it's just now my army requires more thought to do what I want it to do, as opposed to being a high elf where it's like, oh, you charge me, that's great. Stand there for a second while I kill you before you get to fight me.
Right.
Now it's just
well,
like,
again, like
okay,
I said,
I got to think about this.
last year, if those rivers were not on that map, he would have won turn 2.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's what's like I've looked so far. What have I've lost to dwarves a couple times, dark elves a couple times, Bretonians.
Who's playing dwarves?
Actually, Tom.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he's getting his dwarves together. I mean, he has other stuff too, but he's all gung ho. He's all jabbed up for it. So like he's like, I'm gonna do my dwarves, and they're looking really good.
How many cannons? 6?
No, well, I've only played him at 1,000 points, so it's only been 1.
Oh, tisk.
Which also, by the way, it's like 1,000 points against dwarves that just shoot you. It's really hard as a high elf player. Like that's another reason too. Like I 1,000 points just doesn't feel good for high elves. Just like it doesn't feel awful, but it's just like I'm like it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Like I don't have enough to power, like not power. I don't have enough to accomplish what I feel like I need to accomplish. I'm just, especially against a shooting army, I'm running at you as fast as I can. Hopefully I can get there.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's interesting about the dwarf and high elf dichotomy here is like, if this is like the elite line right here, dwarfs feel here with their points, and high elves feel like right here. So it's like you're elite, but you can still bring a decent amount. Where like with dwarfs, I feel it's like you're not quite elite, but you can still bring an okay amount of stuff.
Yeah.
And because like in this game, since it's so kill heavy, the army is defensive to countermatch its low initiative score, but it can't be too defensive or then the game falls apart.
Yeah, otherwise you just never kill them and it doesn't matter what you do.
Right. And so it's like, and we don't want the shooting to be too good. That seems to be one thing they maintain pretty good. They kept kind of wrangled pretty well was the impact of shooting.
Especially with the terrain rules, yes.
Right. I said, I don't know so much about Old World, but I know in 8th edition it was like, oh, did you think about moving? -1 to hit. Now you're 6s. Good luck.
It's I mean, it's still negatives, but shooting's not there to win you the game anymore. Shooting's there to weaken the force so you can go win the combat fight.
Mm-hmm.
With exception of lists, maybe like Wood Elves who are wanting to shoot you to hell and back. And maybe a certain style dwarf list that you can make, but
yeah.
But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm excited for Old World. I'm excited that I have the challenge of trying to learn all over again and not just rely on always strikes first. And rerolls. And rerolls. I still have some rerolls. That hurt. Because I'm so used to Swordmasters having rerolls, but they have Ithamar
Right.
armor, but not Ithamar weapons. So they don't get
Right.
rerolls. I'm like, dang it. I want my rerolls,
Yeah.
at least something on them. But they're also magical attacks, so it's I love it. It's balanced, it's fun. But here we are, 44 minutes into the show. We should probably talk about the main topic.
I guess.
If we have to. I'm gonna have to title this show appropriately. Be like, we talk old world for most of the episode, and then we pretend like we care about the Battlescroll.
I care about the Battlescroll very much.
Oh, I do to a point. Like, it doesn't really affect me much.
Well,
I'm not going to
so-
tournaments till April, so.
That's true. Well, so I forgot about the other hobby that I've been working on, where I just put together another 20 Hearthguard Berserkers and another 20 Volkite Berserkers. And I even did weapon swaps for all of them, so it's a completely customized unit.
Oh, nice. Fun.
Yeah, so the all my previous Hearthguard Berserkers all have the axe heads from the Volkites because they're bigger than what the Hearthguard get.
Yep.
So I did that previously, so I'm like, well, I got to keep doing that now. And then for my Volkite, I'm like, well, shit, I can't have them all have the same weapons. So I went on eBay and bought a bunch of the just the picks. Just the picks.
You know what I'm mad about that, Matt? Do you know how many Old Dwarfs and Fire Slayers and KO bits I have right over this monitor?
I wasn't even thinking.
I have so many. I could have given you like 80 picks, I bet. Minimum.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I paid like $10 for 20 picks.
It does not make me feel better. I could give them to you for free, and we could have met up for lunch or something. But no, you don't want to be with me. I see how it is. You don't want my bits. I'm just gonna go burn them. I'm just gonna go burn them. All this CO2 emissions.
Wow, you really are a fantasy player, huh? But, so I was a little nervous about them dual wielding picks because I was afraid of it looking kind of dumb.
No.
But no, they actually turned out looking like they are psychotic murderers ready to go. Like,
Yep. No, it's fun, and I love like my Fire Slayers when I did them. Like every model has some sort of kit bash on it from some other dwarf thing, and like I think I might have one guy that has dual picks, and he just looks so cool. It's awesome. Well, I look forward to that. And like I said, I do care about the Battlescroll. I just don't care as heavily as most people who every single day are like, where's the Battlescroll? Where's the Battlescroll? Where's the Battlescroll? HW, where's the Battlescroll? Come on.
I gotta say, so I'm not calling you out. My friend from Ohio,
Stephen Maddow,
who I love very. I will neither confirm nor deny that that's the correct name.
First comment, every single post on Facebook.
I'm like, one of the most loving, caring, amazing, passionate human beings on the planet. Fucking ruthless to this poor soul that deals with the website and has nothing to do with anything. Yep. Probably had this poor British guy on the other side of the world waking up every morning just going, oh, I have to post another Age of Sigmar article again.
Oh no. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be there.
I was half tempted to be like, hey, Age of Sigmar Facebook guy, just a heads up, he plays Sons of Bahamut, so if you want to throw in the war scroll that army is no longer valid, you'll get everything you get.
Yeah. He'll still comment, but you just block him after that point.
If you want revenge, just
Alright, well, you know what my most favorite part though about this whole Battlescroll is? I'll get the Battlescroll up here in a second. Here, let me.
Is it the magenta bits?
No, hold on. We got the Battlescroll up in here, but if you remember, and we have a lot of new people to the podcast, and subscribing to YouTube, so thank you. So I'm a former Age of Sigmar playtester. I playtested all of second and third edition. We're kind of at the point now where I don't really fully test it. Like I didn't test everything in these final supplements, but that's fine. That's neither here nor there. I enjoyed the process of it. I did my time. Maybe I'll do it again one day. If not, no worries. But I was always the guy who's like, Marathi, I was always talking them down from putting her up the points. Everyone wanted to put up her in points. They wanted her at 700 points, like all the other playtesters nonstop. And I'm like, no, that makes zero fucking sense. I would argue and argue and argue. And I would always be able to talk them down, be like, okay. Because like here, and then literally the week I leave, like officially done, they come out with the Battlescroll. That was just timing. Marathi, 700 points. I was like, son of a fucking bitch. You guys didn't even fucking learn. But now we have vindication because on screen now, Marathi Kane, under 700 points again. We're at 680. Huzzah. Huzzah, everybody. We are back where she belongs. And here's the argument. All right? Here's the argument. It's not... Like, if you read her War Scrolls, Marathi Kane and Shadow Queen, you're like, oh man, that's a god level character, yeah. And like your brain goes at least 700. That's because you're listening to Warhammer Weekly too much. I love you, Vince. I love you to death. Here's the thing, but if she can't go anywhere that's not inside of Daughters of Cain, that's where she lives, right? She's stuck there. She can't ally anywhere. She's just there. And if you look at her in the context of the army, 700 points is wildly too much for her. And what happened when she went over 700 points? The army win rate plummeted.
Well, I mean, Alariel's 800 points. Well, I don't know, wait, we got Alariel down to 800 points.
Yeah, Alariel needs to drop a lot more too. That's a war crime, her being that high.
I like here's what like the defense you always hear about it is, well, she can resurrect. Okay, she has a chance of resurrecting.
Yeah. Just
take her off her War Scroll.
Yeah.
Does that get it as? Well, she summons. Well, she summons crap. So why don't we take?
Yeah.
Why don't we take? How about this? Take the resurrecting off the table.
Right.
Take the summoning off the table, and instead give her the ability to heal everything around her and put models back in.
Well, here's the thing.
And then put her 700 points.
Here's the thing: the army can't survive mortal wounds, so she's not healing much anyway because everything just dies because there's mortal wounds everywhere in this fucking game.
Right. Because, but again,
that's just how they're built, and that's fine. But
and of course you can't forget there's been no power creep in this game. So
none at all. I honestly all of her rules feel fun and exciting, but it costs too much.
Oh, they fall flat. They fall flat.
But they're fun. They're fun. They fit the theme. They're just not implemented in a way that's impactful in the game. But hey, regardless. We can do an Alariel. Like I said, I'm a high elf player, so I love Alariel. I love elves. I wouldn't mind having this debate about.
Do you remember in second edition when we played a couple games and we just made one of the Sylvaneth's one of their allegiance abilities is they have Alariel.
Oh yeah, and then he still lost.
And yeah, it was still like, boy, you think that'd be a good ability. You think that'd be a good ability?
More of a liability than anything. She's just in the way.
Get your beetle ass out the damn way.
I look at Alariel and Teclis, and it's like they either are way too impactful or not impactful enough. I feel like Marathi Kane has been that nice balance where she's impactful, but you can deal with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like her impactfulness is like she's there for a couple turns. But like
that's what
the good players know how to do enough wounds to her and move on with their day and just survive it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things is every time you've brought. Well, so the issue is what it really boils down to is it's her interaction with the bow snakes, because whenever you bring her, you don't load up on bow snakes.
No, I tried that list once and I absolutely hated playing it. It's not my play style. I see and like to be fair too, in the playtesting, we're all like, you should remove that ability. It should be combat only, or something different because there's not. And like, yep, and they didn't. So here we are.
Yeah, Cole and I talked about a couple alternatives for that because again, I think it's a cool ability. I just don't think it is something.
You can't just simply change it to combat only because the army just has that. Like I think my slaughter queens have that ability. Granted,
one thing Cole and I were thinking of. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
One of the things Cole and I were talking about, a while ago, whenever it was kind of the topic of the week, is I wouldn't mind seeing it. Each unit can benefit from this ability once per game. Then that way, you want to bring 2 units of bow snakes or 1 big unit of bow snakes and not worry about getting it every turn. Then it has an automatic way that it impacts the way you do your list building.
Right, and here's the thing. I believe when we get a new army book in whatever edition it comes in, which will probably be the next edition, but based upon the timelines we're used to seeing right now, I'm hoping that, I mean, she'll get like mostly a rewrite. You know, like she'll probably still have the twin soul thing. Actually, to be fair, my dream is they continue the lore where the Shadow Queen's not listening as well anymore, and that you can take them separately.
That would be weird. That would be very weird.
Well, I mean, it would be cool because, to be fair, most of the playstyle I have, I just want to bring Marathi Kane. I don't want to bring the Shadow Queen.
So, speaking of the elven gods,
Yes.
you know one thing that keeps me up at night?
We don't have Tyrion yet, or Malarian?
Well, so close.
Okay.
I want to know, how are we going to make a list that fits both Tyrion and Teclis in it?
I'm pretty sure you're not. I'm pretty sure you're not going to.
You can't do that to me. You got to put them both in a list. Like, you got to at least have a way. I don't know if you want to do a separate entry where it's literally Tyrion and Teclis, 1,200 points. Like,
like a army of renown.
Right.
It's Tyrion and Teclis, a unit of horses, and a unit of
just
spearmen.
Just Tyrion and Teclis and the twins. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
And Gotrek. There you go.
That's no problem at all.
That's your full army. That's your army.
I'm game. I'm in. Let's do it.
We're throwing off Therian.
When we get Tyrion in the future, we'll write that army of renown.
There you go. All
right. So anyway, let's actually, let me hide the little meme here. Whoop, that's not it.
So since you don't want to go too in depth, do you want to just like go back and forth on things that you want to point out that you liked or didn't like?
I mean, to be fair, like we don't have to go in depth. We can just kind of read through it, and like if there's something that pops out that is interesting about in that, we can talk about it briefly. But like we don't need to like explore the meta with it. Is where I'm at.
Sure.
And we're not going to read every single point. We'll read the points that we find interesting. Okay, so like the first page, General's Handbook 2023. Actually, you know what? This is the one I do want to skip because it's the General's Handbook. It's not. You know, I don't use battle tactics. I don't use battalions, and don't really like power flux. So boom, those 3 things don't interest me because that's not how I play. All right, so the Battlescroll is called Nullstone Caches. Realize I forgot the name of it. Anyway, so yeah, we're on the chaos side.
So the very first change here with the Blades of Corn, I love the lore of this.
Yes.
I feel bad for the people that bring Be'lakor, but at the same time, I almost feel like the Be'lakor should have had a Corn war scroll where he gets something else instead of casting.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
But now, literally a 5 up. Oh, spell didn't work.
Yep.
If that was me, I'd be seeing a 5 every friggin' time.
That is fun. Like I said, but it fits the lore so well. Like,
yeah,
just not doing that weird ally stuff. But here's the thing: if allies are the problem, maybe we should fix that in the next edition. Change the ally structure.
We'll see. I'm interested to see where that goes. Do you want allies to stay the same, change, or go away?
To be fair, it's so low on my list. I haven't given it much thought. I don't want it to go away. In Sigmar, I like allies because it just fits better in that game. Like I hate allies in Old World. Don't want it. But in Sigmar, I love it. And I like the freedom of buying random things that I can fit into my Daughters of Cain and paint it up for that army and just have a little fun thing and try it here and there. Yeah. But I don't know, because it needs to be limited, but not too limited. I'm so unsure. Honestly, if I had to say anything right now, I'd say stay the same.
I just
Other than
personally,
I would say I would change what you are allowed to ally with. I feel that they don't have that down pat. I feel like the ally system is
Mhm.
fine. I feel like each army's different, what they can have and not have in allies. I think that's the issue.
That's interesting. I didn't think about anything from that aspect, but yeah, not again, not to go into everything because I know that's not what kind of show this is. But I would say I think it just needs to be tightened up. Like I think it's a little weird that cities can or Seraphon can take cities for allies. That seems a little weird to me.
Right, but like as far as like cities go, I love that I like the core of my list has a Tree Lord Ancient in my cities list.
Right,
It's an ally,
because again,
but it makes
that's
sense.
perfect in the lore.
Yes. I just feel who can ally needs to be tightened up, and maybe if you limit it more, like I don't want coalition like that was annoying. I'm glad that's sort of gone, but yeah.
I
Anyway,
mean, once I got the hang of it, I kind of liked it.
I yeah I just ignored it. I'm like nope, don't care. Um,
um,
anyway, Sloppity Bile Piper. I think what I've heard from people is that he's just no longer useful. Is that what you've heard too?
I mean,
I didn't know the
subtract
character,
one
so
from hit isn't bad if you ask me. But
oh true. Actually, to be fair, like against my Dodge Kane, taking one away from my hit cripples me with the style I
right,
play.
same. And again, like so, as Neil found out, Suns don't really have that much of a hard time with Nurgle
Mm-hmm.
until you start giving them -1 to hit.
Oh well, then there you go. Maybe I'm recalling this backwards, and maybe everyone's like Sloppy Bile Piper for days. Maybe that backwards.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, the issue is it's been so long since I've looked at that
Yeah.
ability. I forget what it used to do.
Sure.
Yeah, let's see.
Yep. Beast of Chaos. They have extra range on their cores. Sure.
I'm very interested about that because it's like it seems like just every once in a while they put out this giant blurb of not blurb, but a giant like a compact list of units that now have 2-inch
Well,
range.
that's them still slowly fixing the fact that 32-inch.
Right. Well, so
Like
like
you want to get, they're essentially allowing it so that second rank will always get to fight with these sort of
right,
units, which makes
right,
sense, and I'm fine with that.
right. Well, again, on the order page, I'll be very happy that it's on there. But like, it's just interesting that so like something like say the Beasts of Chaos book that came out so late, whenever they kind of already learned that lesson, I'm surprised that one wasn't already integrated.
Well, if you remember, like when they learn it might not necessarily be when it went to print.
That's true. That's true as well.
Timing is off and things went away. Let's see, Skaven. Let's see, Flee. Fleet this tactic. No, it's 2 or more friendly Skaven units retreat this turn. That makes sense. So, well, I think it was just 1 before, right? Or maybe it was 3. I forget. Maybe it's 3.
Honestly,
2 feels like, not knowing what it was. 2 feels fine for me for you to earn a battle tactic.
So does that mean? Oh, we retreat. Okay, yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
like Plague Monks are now units of 20, weren't they always? I never see them.
Yeah. The only person I ever saw brought Plague Monks was Alex, and that was I believe end of first edition.
Yeah, that's so long ago. Which that? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Slaves of Darkness. Daemon Prince attack characteristic. This is 7 now, and all attacks characters in talents 12. So I think they just increased his attacks, which is good because I think he didn't always feel like a powerful unit.
No, it's one thing. I always feel terrible because like the Demon Prince, the like Chaos Worshipper Steve, like signed up on the promise of one day I'll be a Demon Prince, but then he finally gets it and gets taken out by an Annihilator with 2 hammer swings in the top of turn 2. Like, oh,
oh no!
Like they should be
with you.
Right. I mean, that's the thing is like, Slaves of Darkness doesn't get greater demons,
right?
Because they have access to demon princes,
right?
And it's like they should be like this 280, 320 monster that you go, oh, I don't want to fight that.
Well, yeah. Pretty much like let's try and avoid that if we can.
Right. But that's not the way it plays in the game.
No. But hey, more attacks. It's fine.
Demon princes, haha.
Oh yeah, what was it? When you have like the one Chaos Lord on the Krakenak, it's like someone like rolled it like, oh, he can become a Demon Prince. I don't want to do that. He's worse. Like
Yeah, I'd rather not.
that's not what you want it to
Yeah,
be.
you don't want your results of 12 to be the one you don't want.
Yeah,
Like,
like oh damn it. All right, Zaples Zinch, the Zangor 2-inch, just to clarify it for both books, so otherwise people will complain. And then Pitch Battles, Horrors of Zinch. I don't care.
I think it's a good change. I think it's a good
Um,
idea.
I see stuff like this. Okay, Zinch is a complicated army, right?
Yes.
The people who play Zinch like complicated armies, and not always, but might be more gamey than usual because that's the type of personality that a hard army might be attracted to, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So you're giving them more words that people like me don't want to read, so they can be even gamier towards me because I don't understand what's going on and I refuse to read this paragraph.
Well, I'll TLDR it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Basically, you can take blues or brimstones now,
Okay.
and they're cheaper, and they count as battle line.
I'm sure that will not cause any issues in the future. Moving on. Grand Alliance Order. This is one we care about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vanquisher's 2-inch reach.
Cool. I mean, they have a
they're on
great sword. I don't know why it wouldn't be 2 inches from the get go.
they're on 40s though.
No, they're on.
Yeah,
They're on
Stormcast are all on
40s.
40s.
Doesn't matter. It's not.
You could
It's still two.
it's easier to get the second rank in, so
Yeah.
it's not as easy as 32s, but it's still possible. All right, Seraphon. You're more of the Seraphon guy here for me, so tell me about this. The command trait change. Is it impactful? Does it fix the Croaknado or
No,
okay?
no, it doesn't. So basically, the main thing that every one of the Croak Bomb lists had was everyone took the command trait Lord of Celestial Resonance. You gave it to one of your Slans, and then every time your Slan successfully casts a spell, you get 2 points instead of one. Now they just did it so the first spell gets 2. So basically, assuming they get all 3 spells off, you've robbed them of 2 points.
All right, so it slows them down a little bit, but still.
And then, of course, they made Kroxigor's 5 wounds now, which was like out of left field, but totally welcome. Now it makes those boys.
They're spicier now. I like that change too. That makes me feel good.
I don't know if it's good enough to bring them, but if you want to take them, I think you're not going to look as silly.
Yeah, it might not be the meta choice, but you're like, this is my pet unit, and I can make it work, and everyone goes, cool. I want to see it happen.
Honestly, besides the point changes to Croak, spoilers. I think the one thing they missed on this is they should have just slightly tweaked the summoning list. Everything should have just got 1 or 2 points higher, and then you would have solved a lot of problems.
Sure. That's fair. All right, Sigmar. I'm loving this is like my third change to the army while I've been painting it. Which is why I'm glad I'm usually a fast painter, but Alchemite Warforger, which by the way, this model was so fun to paint in Kit Bash. Like it's just an enjoyable army to paint. But anyway, while units blazing weapons, each unmodified hit roll of a 6 text now causes mortal wound to the target in addition to any damage inflicts. That's fine. I still don't know if I would do that over just giving someone the free +1 to their save.
I thought the other one around was the what is it now?
The other one, Runic Crucible. Start of your hero phase, you can pick one friendly unit with this ability and say it'll either stoke or expend the power of its Runic Crucible. Oh, it saves for everything within 12 inches. Wholly within. Never mind. It's not one unit. You pick one of these friendly units, so you pick one.
Okay.
You can only use the Runic Crucible once if you had 2 of these guys. Apparently, I think is what this says.
Right.
But
so does Blazing Weapon now? Did it affect ranged weapons before? Because I thought that's what it was.
No, I think it might have just done a mortal wound, and then the attack sequence.
Okay.
I forget what it was, but like no one looked at Blazing Weapons because Runic Crucible is so good. It's free command points spent. So, I don't know if this will pull me away from that, but might be worth having 2 if you have that shooty army, so you can have one unit do this in combat potentially. Anyway, who cares? Who cares? It's fun. I think you're gonna take Runic Crucible as your choice anyway if you only have one Warforger. The next changes are all Ideneth. Wish Cole was here. He'd understand them a little better than me.
I'm sure he'd say they're good.
Yeah, let's see. Futhan. I don't know what their thing is, so we'll just skip that one. The Eidolon. I do enjoy the Eidolon aspect of the sea. That's the one I actually have. Tsunami of Terror. Casting value of 7, range of 18. Pick 3 enemy units within range, visible. Subtract 1 from the save rolls. That seems solid. With melee weapons. Still. I like that. That seems pretty good. I don't know what it was before.
In, boil up rend.
Yeah. Fire Slayers here. Increase the range of Fire Steel Hand Axe and Fire Steel Warpick to 2 inches. I didn't see this one when I looked at this earlier today because I was so excited about those points. And the Volkite Berserkers, so holy crap, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
This is the first time I've been working on an army that gets a buff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I was basically taking 2 blocks of 20 Volkite.
Yeah.
Primarily just so they die and I can have the Flame Seeker go and throw out the buffs.
Right.
Now knowing that I'm going to have 20 Volkite and potentially get them all into combat, and then also give, whenever they charge now, the dual wielders, whenever they charge, you get +1 attack.
Yeah.
And if you go with, I'm blanking on one of the lodges, Volkite get +1 to hit and wound on the turn they charged. So you're looking at a unit, a 20-man block that you could potentially, not likely and not reliably, but potentially get the whole unit in. So now you're looking at an entire unit with 3 attacks, 2s, no rend, 1 damage.
Yeah, but can't you get a rend with the pizza oven? Possibly?
Well, so there is, not from the pizza oven, but there are
prayers.
There's a rune that you can strike at the beginning of the turn. Additionally, you can also use you can also use your Rune Father to give another attack. So now you're looking at 20 guys with 4 attacks apiece.
I won't lie. I'm not unhappy if Fire Slayers become a menace for a little while. I'm like, neat. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
I'm not excited to see. Again, I'm personally not a Horde fan, and that kind of pushes in that direction. But I also think the point changes kind of help balance it out a little bit.
That's fair. That's fair. So my Fire Slayer list isn't tuned, but I do have 3 units, 2 with the shields and 1 with the double hand axes. So I'm curious to try that out eventually, but get there when we get there. I'll wait for you to tell me if it's good or bad when you get to it.
We'll find out.
And if you say it's bad, that means it's probably good, and I'll just play it. All right, let's see. On to death. Lots of stuff in Night Haunt got 2-inch range because they're on bigger bases. That's fine. I think it's very clear with this whole thing is with this whole update we're seeing that in the next edition there'll probably be something written in kind of like 40k where the front 2 ranks always get to fight.
I have a feeling that'll be the case.
Yeah, it's because I'm sure they're tired of having to put this in. All right, Bone Reapers, Null Myriad, the menace that it is. The Eldritch Nulls, you can roll dice each time a friendly Null Myriad unit is affected by a spell. On a 4+, ignore the effect of the spell and the endless spell abilities on that unit. I don't know what it was before.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
4+ still seems pretty good to ignore stuff.
Yeah, 4+ for ignore. Yeah. Can't complain about it.
I mean, if it was a 3, that's a good change. If it was a 5, maybe a good change. Right. I don't know. It seems. If
it was a 3, you should have knew it was coming.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I haven't played a Null Myriad in a while, so. Before I'm running priests anyway, so I don't care. Let's see, in Soulblight. Okay, it's battle tactics, but Soulblight, you play that army.
Yeah.
Is this good in tournament scene?
I don't necessarily remember the original Grasping Dead battle tactic.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem bad. I mean, I can do it.
Okay, if you can do it, we'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
No complaints.
Let's check out Destruction then. Orc War Clans. You can pick this tactic. I'll sneak up if you're Cruel Boys. If your general is Cruel Boys. They did one for Iron Jaws. That makes sense, reading those tactics.
So previously, this is one of the reasons why people were doing so well with Big Wa, because you could use these in Big Wa.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But now you're gonna be limited. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Right. It's fair enough.
Okay, let's see. Maw Grunters, Tusk Boss. Change the last sentence on Unstoppable Momentum. At the end of the battle round, subtract 1 from this unit's momentum score. Oh, I don't care. That's a stupid thing. Let's see. And then Sons of Bahamut. Behemoth. I always say Bahamut because D&D, sorry.
Yeah.
The Wrath of the Titans, Earth-Shaking Roar. Pick one enemy within 3 on this model. 3+, cannot issue or receive orders. I think that's the same as it was. In addition, first roll was successful. Enemy wounds characteristic has 1 or 2. Roll 2d6. Higher than bravery. Each point exceeds bravery. One model flees. Oh. The unit's commanding player decides. Okay, so did it not make him flee before?
I think basically what it was is it was wound characteristic of 3 or less, I believe.
Okay.
I'll have to double check, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. I feel like you're using that anyway, so cool. Still use it.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I love using this one because my opponent's just like, oh, what? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm
because again,
run away.
Because it even works on the way it's written. It even works on OCR Bone Reapers.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So me yell so loud, you run.
We don't have ears. Run. Okay. All right, and then we get into the plethora of points changes. The Christmas tree that we see here, or Christmas colors. As usual, they changed up some endless spells because those will forever be changed because there's so many of them and it's so wildly to predict what they can do and what they can't do.
I'll tell you right now, I think Burning Head's finally where it's supposed to be.
Free?
No, 20 points.
20 points.
That's
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, what do you see here? Like anything? Like my first one is I'm looking at cities because that's what I'm currently looking on.
Yeah.
Great Cannon, don't have that. Steam Tank, don't have that. Warforger, up 10, that's fair. Should have been there for a while. Fusilier Major, I've looked at that. Down 20 is kind of interesting, but I'm not running a heavy shooting build because I'm running a narrative.
I would have said for the Steam Tanks, maybe wait one more tournament.
Yeah, they did shoot him up there pretty hard.
Like maybe wait and see if you know someone playing it with normal dice, see how well they do. And then
there's also all right, so you increase the Steam Tanks be like to their levels, and then you take Talia and drop her down a massive 40 points, and she is good.
Well, no one took her
because people were taking the cheaper Steam Tanks.
Well, that's true, but yeah, they were just like, come on, we built this giant lion. Quit taking this 30-year-old dumb tank.
Yeah. I have a feeling you'll see Talia in a lot more lists now, which is fine. She's cool. If I was running Hammer Hall at all, she'd definitely be in there, but I chose my theme and I'm sticking with it. Free Go Command Corps, up 30. Great change. I rather they've just gotten the unique keyword.
Oh, that would have been interesting. Yeah.
Well, it's stupid that like it's a command corps. Like,
right.
How many of those do you want? Like, it seems stupid anyway. But I'm never gonna have more than one because it seems silly. I know by the rules people will do that, but
yeah.
Sure. Up in points. Honestly, that's the only thing that caught me off guard is my because I have one unit. My army went from like 1990, went from 1980 up to like 210 because of this change, and I was like, okay, so I gotta change something out. And then Wilder Corpse Hunters. I would love to have this in my army because it fits my theme. It's perfect.
You need them,
but I will buy them when they release separately. They're still part of that Warcry box. Otherwise, I'd have them immediately.
I'm telling you, like Cole and I have talked about like this ad nauseum on Power Hour, but like selling the units packed with terrain is just preventing more people from buying it.
Yeah.
Then they're getting people who are going, well, I don't need both, but I guess I'll buy both. Yeah. Like you're getting less people who would just buy the kit by itself than you are people that are willing to buy the big box.
Literally every time I'm looking at my list and what to do, I'm like, I'm like, oh, I just add. Oh, never mind. I can't buy them yet.
Right.
They're an immediate buy as soon as they become separate. Immediate buy, no questions asked. They're there and they're gonna be painted and added to my list. Until then,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play around without it because also what I would like to do is when I get them, it means I could drop the Tree Lord and run no allies in my list if I felt like it.
Oh, that
Because
would be really
because
cool.
with everything I have 200 extra points of stuff right now. So
Mm,
Tree Lord's
hmm.
330. Boom, drop him out. Add them. Two things. We're good to go. But yes, I will be adding them immediately, and I'm not unhappy that they dropped 10 points.
What do you think of your besides Marathi? What do you think of your daughter's changes?
Oh, they're fine. Bloodwreck Shrine down 20. It's still you have to run a specific list to want to bring it, and I still think that like that's not. I don't think you're gonna. I still don't think you're gonna see a lot of Bloodwreck Shrines. Hag Queen and Cauldron of Blood's dropping. Yes, I think that needed to happen. Uh, like 280 was just tough. I feel
Mhm.
like at most you should be able to have two cauldrons comfortably in a list.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. You're right around. Well, I guess you were right around frigate list,
yeah,
frigate range.
I usually run two cauldrons of blood. 280 is hard to get everything in that you want. That's what I'm doing my witch elf spam stuff, but I don't mind when those drop at all. Same thing with Slaughter Queen and Cauldron of Blood. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're minor changes. It's enough to make it slightly easier, which is fine. And I don't really use the under. I have it. I don't really use
Hmm.
it, so I can't say if that 10 points drop is worthwhile or not. It's
Oh,
probably
oh,
okay because
oh!
it probably.
It's a whole. Oh,
I mean, they teleport around. I guess. I don't know.
we live in a new age now, baby.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Fire Slayers. Now this was fun. I have an extra 100 points now on my Fire Slayers list.
yeah. I literally had 120 points open up in my list.
Yeah.
Now, again, there's one thing that you'll notice here on the second to last line under Fire Slayers, the Auric Hearthguard down another 10 points. They probably could have put that down another 100 points, and I still wouldn't take them.
That's great.
I'm hoping in 4th edition, the Auric Hearthguard have a profile that I actually want to read. I don't know what they're thinking with it.
Yeah, for me, my thing is the Doomseeker. I'm like, I would rather just take what's the other one, the Berserker or
Grimwrath
Grimwrath.
Berserker,
Yeah,
yeah.
like just say it's the same an alternate version of the same model. Like I'm not taking a Doomseeker.
Did you see the Fire Slayer list that recently went 5-0?
No.
So it was just enough Volkite to meet Battle Line,
Okay.
and then the rest was all Grimwrath and Doomseekers just to maximize numbers.
Oh, that's great. Okay, that's funny.
I'm like,
That's a Slayer
that
list.
would be a nightmare beyond nightmare to play.
Sure would be.
Did you mean like every single? Okay, well, I have 4 Grimwrath Berserkers. Where do you want your damage to go?
Yep. Oh no, you killed me. Guess I'll just swing anyway.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know enough about Gloomspite Gets to determine whether that's
I
good or
don't.
not.
Slanesh, everything's dropping. Make a better book. Is my feedback
Yeah,
there.
again, still with that. I mean, it's like, I mean, at the very least, the bow guys on mounts are not on there. So that's
I mean, they should have been up. I guess. I don't know.
right.
If anything.
Right. They should have probably gone up a little bit just because, like I said, they are essentially. Whenever I played against them, they're essentially Thunderer plus like Gun Hauler combined in amount of movement, defense, and damage they were outputting by themselves. Whew.
Keeper Secrets needs to come down more. That's my other thing. It's good.
Yeah,
It's good in one
Keepers.
specific build. And if that's the case, then you just wrote rules improperly for it. If you want it to be a 400 point demon, it should have a War Scroll that stands on its own as a 400 point demon. It shouldn't need
Right.
tricks to make it be a 400 point demon.
Right. I honestly, from reading that War Scroll, it should probably be about somewhere between 320 and 340.
I'd say 280. I would. But regardless, that said, I have played this army and I did kind of learn to love the new mechanic. You know, I don't think it's great, but like it's fine.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
you're losing every game, but you have fun with your opponent. Ideneth, the eels drop 10, sure. Let's move on to
Yeah.
KO though. So the ironclad dropped, everything else went up.
And again, like honestly, so this I hate point changes like this.
Well, it's like most of the good lists, aren't they taking ironclads?
No, they were taking frigates.
Frigates? Okay.
So the most recent one that did well at LVO was 2 frigates, a gun hauler, fill both frigates up with thunderers, and then put a 6-pack in of engine riggers in the gun hauler
So you can
to
melee
just
out, yeah.
well, no, not even. So she just pops up and out and flies high to repair ships as needed.
Oh, okay.
But like the problem with this is, what are they supposed to take?
Yeah.
Like you just wrote a bad book. Not even necessarily a bad book.
I don't think it's a bad book.
You just wrote it off. It wasn't.
See, Caradron's where I'm going to give that by. I'm not going to say it's a bad book. I'm not going to say they wrote it
Right,
poorly.
right. That's a step too far.
It's a like Slanesh, they wrote a bad book.
Yes.
Caradron, it's a very tough style of army to put in a game that's not suited for it. That's what this is.
Right.
This is a shooty army in what should be a melee game. So you either
Right.
make them too good or too bad, and like that, I don't know if there is that fine line.
No, I don't think so.
And if there is, it's definitely not in points. But I also don't know what it is in rules either.
Right. Because here's the thing: is like, if KO doesn't kill what they're shooting at, then it's going to get into them and tear them apart.
Mm-hmm.
And so until they come out with the elusive second half of the army, that's the ground force,
yeah,
to the point where you can make Thunderers 220 points, or make a I don't know, like, but no, just jacking up the points so you just don't have anything on the table. Not the way to go.
No, but also this late in the game,
who cares?
Not much else you can do. It's just this with this. Lumineth, we both. I still have that army. I'm not sure. Did you sell that army or
no? I sold that army to Bill, which he took to U.S. World, so I can say one of my armies made it to U.S. World.
A couple of my models made it there. There's a Roger, but yeah, things going down. That's fine. None of that bothers me.
I'm nervous about Sentinels being back into 150 range. Like you put them at 140, and we're right back where we were.
At 150 still feels okay.
Yeah, it's.
I'm
nervous.
every time you see them drop, you get like.
Why don't you do that to the Wardens instead? Huh?
Yeah, just give us free Wardens. That's fine. All right, Magakin and Nurgle. Stuff dropped. One thing.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that about a couple things here. So I'm shocked that the Rotmire Creed went down. Because those are the ranged units.
Okay.
So I kind of thought they were going to stay where they were. I'm surprised to see the Rotbringer Sorcerer Coven come down. I'm glad to see it came down. I'm surprised that they actually thought to do that. But then, other than that, the other big surprise is that
the new Lord of Plagues dropped.
Well, I was going to say that. I was going to say the Blight Kings didn't drop a little bit.
Oh, that's fair.
Or get 2-inch reach. Can't do both.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
you can't.
I don't know if they want 2-inch.
And here's the thing: I don't think everything on a 32 needs a 2-inch reach.
Well, they're on a 40,
but whatever. 32 or bigger.
Okay.
If you can't fight in 2 rows, I don't think necessarily everything needs a 2-inch reach. I think because again, like it makes sense. Here's just a wall of flesh, and you got to carve your way through it. That's their point. That's why they're there. Not to just swing into a bunch of damage, because they can do that, but the 1-inch reach is holding them back. So I thought they would have brought them down in points after we got rid of the previous ability to fight in 2 ranks. And they did come down at that time, but just not enough.
Yep. That's fair.
Also, Fly should have went up.
Oh, sure. I'm not going to argue that. Next interesting thing for me is Auric War Clans. Nothing really super interesting here, other than this is where you can kind of figure out timing of things.
Cuts.
But massive cuts, yes. But also, if you look, the Rekkas and the Monster Killers, the new units, dropping by 5 points to be back so everything's always in that
Yes.
10 range, because
Yeah.
when they were tested, they were still on the 5 points. So
Yeah.
that's always funny. Same thing with the gets. There was one thing that went up like 5 points to get it to where it should be.
I'm surprised to see Gordrak come down 20 points, considering he's kind of been the crux of all the big WA units or big WA armies.
True.
I'm very happy to see the Mogrunt to Gouger coming down.
Yeah. I'm not too concerned about Gordrak dropping, considering if he's the crux of Big Wah, then you're taking away a battle tactic that seemed pretty easy for him to get.
2.
Well, isn't he Ironjaws?
No, Gordrak is the big guy on the big vulture.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking. Who am I thinking? He's cruel. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you're thinking of
No,
Gobsprak.
no, Gordrak.
No,
Gordrak's the Ironjaws. Gobsprak's the Cruel Boys.
No, I'm getting confused. It's fine then.
It's fine. Fine. Who cares?
The vulture guy's the one that Big Wah's doing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, then yeah. Gobsprak's not on this list, so he's fine.
There you go.
All right, Bone Reapers.
Now I'm no longer surprised.
Bone Reapers. I don't really know what those things are.
I don't know.
Seraphon. I know you've looked at lists recently. Lord Croak going up 30.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think Croak is just a monster. So seeing him go up by 30 points, I don't like to see 30-point swing like that, but I get it. Same thing with the Slann Starmaster. They're so crucial to the list.
Yeah, the thing I get with Croak real quick, I feel not in his current state, but I feel like lore-wise, he should be on par with the gods. Like, we just had the story where literally the gods are listening to him because he's been around longer than them.
Right.
Why isn't he like written and acting like a 700 point, 650 point unit?
Well, so here's the thing: I would say he is acting like a 600-point unit.
Sure.
But I would also say that if you made him 600 points, he wouldn't have a place in the army.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, like it'd be like a whole rewrite of the army again, but
right.
I just feel like he should be that, but that makes sense. I think he should be high enough that he can never be allied. As long as he always stays there, we'll be okay.
Right. I think keep him out of ally range. I would have liked to have seen. Well, see, here's the thing: is like for the Carnosaurs, I want him to be a little bit lower, but 240 is really hard to argue going lower than that.
Yeah, it's still a monster. Still does stuff.
Now the Stegodon, I can easily argue that he should be 180. Like, that thing is a fun little putt-putt, but it doesn't...
Yeah.
It does not do a Carnosaur level of damage.
Nope. Does not.
Same thing with all the Ripperdactyls. I love the riders, you know. I think they're super cool, super cute, but, like, they're not good. So, like, you can put them at 100 points. You might grab a unit at that point to be objective grab.
Would you rather have a unit of Ripperdactyls or 10 Daemonettes?
Ooh, maybe Daemonettes. You'd actually get some damage out.
Okay, that's fair. I would say, because these were the same price that Daemonettes are now.
Right. So, yeah, the Ripperdactyls... so the last time the Ripperdactyls were good was prior to the first GHB coming out, whenever you could keep rolling to see if you keep hitting. And since then, because that's for a unit of 3, you'll probably get about 2 or 3 damage out of the unit.
Yeah.
Unless you buff it. Because if you buff it and reinforce it, then, of course, you have a force multiplier, but...
Right. Okay. Well, anyway,
it's not bad. I mean, again, there's nothing. I see nothing wrong with any of it.
Yeah, especially now that the increased range on the Croc score and Lord Croak going up. That's good changes. Both good changes.
I would argue that the Astrolith Bearer should not have gone up. But I won't fight it.
Yeah, I won't fight it either. Skaven, bunch of stuff dropped. A few things went up. Sure. Slaves of Darkness. Archeon dropped 40 points.
Now, here's one thing I want to know. Fine, you can drop your Archeon by 40 points, but I would also like to see those 40 points be picked up by the Varangard.
Yeah.
Maybe not 40, but 20? Yeah.
Suns, everything dropped a little bit. Sure.
No impact. No impact whatsoever.
I don't care what points you adjust Sons of Behemoth. You can't change how that army works.
No,
They should
don't
not
even
even
waste
have
your time.
points. It should just be like they cannot go anywhere else. You can bring 2, 3, or
That would
4, and
be
if you whatever you bring, you can bring this many of these smaller boys. That's it. That's all it is.
that would be hilarious if they just got it so it's like you can bring 4 giants. 3 stompers count as half a giant.
Yeah, just do basic math. Like
Yeah.
lean into it. Like the Gargants are dumb and can't count higher than 5, so you don't point anything. You just yeah. All right. Anyway, Soulblight Gravelords. Anything that you see here since you play that army?
No, it all comes out in the wash. I'm
Okay.
glad to see Blood Knights coming back down. That's a little bit more of a reasonable point. But unfortunately, I still don't see them on the table till they get 180.
Gotcha. Stormcast Eternals. We're at the end of an edition, so as usual, Stormcast Eternals turn into a horde army. That continues to be the case.
Well, so if you look at what we're actually getting, it's a very bizarre list that we're getting drops.
Yeah. It's all characters and stuff. It's actually no units.
I think it's hilarious that they think Karazai is better than Krondys.
That's funny.
I mean, both of those guys, those should be like 450 and 460 in that order.
They should both be the same points, and just one should be magic support and one should be melee, and you should write the rules appropriately.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Cronus' War Scroll is not bad. I think Karazai is the one that needs.
Here's where I'm at with it. I have so many Stormcast. I would like to have either one of these just because they're cool and be fun to paint up.
Same.
I don't want to buy another box to store them in because my Stormcast case is to the brim. And we'll probably get a new edition, and there'll be Stormcast at the start, because there always is. And I'll be like, damn it, what do I do?
So don't forget.
Stormcast?
So don't forget, if you're the Big M Power Hour listener, you already know what's going to happen 4th edition, because I've already spilled all the beans.
Well, I'll tell you what, don't spill it. Here, everybody go check out Big M's Power Hour.
So yeah, well, spoilers, you're throwing out half that case. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm not throwing any models away ever. I don't play the army hardly ever, so it's fine.
But yeah, I would have liked to have seen maybe some of the Annihilators on there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just 10, just like 10.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
For Sylvaneth.
Yeah, like I said, we did the Ilarial talk. Just still feels too high for what she does.
Just way too high.
Yeah.
That needs to be another 50 points minimum. Drycha, I think, is now in a very good place.
You know what it should be? Ilarial should be 800 points. But if you bring anything else from Sylvaneth, they get a 20% discount. Because they want to fight for their god, so yeah.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I'm in such of two minds when it comes to Ilarial.
It's one of the best models in the range, and I put a whole Sylvaneth army in my collection just so I could have Ilarial. So
did I.
She's one of the coolest characters in the entire setting.
Although she could probably calm it down a little bit at this point.
No. I love what she's doing.
She needs to calm it down, or she needs to bring out the Kurnathi.
Oh, we do need the Kurnathi. Yes, please. All right. Drycha, sure. Warsong Revenant.
Perfect.
You know what? Warsong Revenant is a model I never got, and I kind of want.
I actually wouldn't mind another 10.
The Warsong Revenant, that's the fluty guy, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, you want him down?
Yeah.
I thought you said you wanted there 10 models of him. Like, he's not a unit of
10. No. I think 260 would have felt a lot better. I thought 300 was ridiculous, and I was shocked to see him on the table.
Honestly, probably 250.
I wouldn't fight you.
Yeah, well, like, when you start getting to, like, 270, it's like, it feels like that should be a leader on the table that is the leader. I don't feel like he's ever going to be the leader.
Right. No. And then Glade Worm, if I haven't been touting the robbery that was 40 points for a Glade Worm.
Well, good thing I prepared the meme of Matt and his no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. We finally died on the hill, and it was worth something. Everyone in AOS, the AOS community, you're welcome. Let's.
Yep, we made it. All right, back to us to wrap up the show. Yeah, so changes. It's finally out. I don't care that it was late.
Yeah, I don't care. Of course, I don't necessarily care too much about this edition. So, got what? 5 more months.
Like I said, if you were making out to the event day Saturday instead of having plans, dear
Well,
God, how dare you have a life outside of wargaming, Matt? You've
look.
shattered my dream.
I'm just gonna bring 80 zombies and win, and then we'll move on.
That's fine because like I'm playing hyper narrative, and my army is like being very defensive in its narrative,
Mm.
which makes for very boring turns in a campaign where you're supposed to be conquering hexes. So I'm sticking to it.
So
But yeah, we're not using battle
I am
tactics. Is good.
I'm playing my narrative, which is hyper aggressive, to win the heart of one Terathi.
She's not even on the board.
Doesn't matter, man.
Okay,
She's somewhere, and she's gonna show up one day and go, "Shit, that's a lot of hexes." I'm like,
Damn. Look at that. Look at that hex hole over there for a big M.
Look at this Super Bowl win we got going on this table.
Oh, that's good. But no, yeah, that was a pretty good battle scroll.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I think the better thing that was a miss from this. There's one thing that's a miss from battle scroll, and there should have been a little magenta thing that said battle tactics are no longer in use. Or battalions are no longer in use. I know I can't hope for both. That's too drastic of a change, but one or the other would have been fine with me. That would have been like 100%.
Oh, as long as there is like, you could literally put, you may have a single drop army if you cut off one of your fingers at the table. We will have players with no fingers by the end of the second tournament. That's
well, yeah. So then the meta becomes how many tournaments do you wait before you start cutting off your fingers, Matt?
Three.
Okay. that's when they weed them out. Because you know what? If everyone will go through that first game, not have it. Because if they win that first game, then they start cutting off fingers. Like, okay, I can live with just a thumb here.
Yeah.
No thumb and a mitt. Okay. But yeah, okay. That's a good battle scroll. I'm gonna do my little list building tonight as I relax and unwind after the podcast, and I'm more excited to finish painting up this city's Sigmar army. It's gonna be fun to have that done. So please look forward to that video, and then immediately after, you'll see the start of my next army diary, which will be my high elves, and you'll see definitely more of a focus on that because I'm gonna get tired of losing here soon. I'm gonna get very tired of losing here very soon. So I need to figure out how to win with my army, which that's on me.
How to win without the World Banner Dragon? Oh no.
That's fine. Honestly, that being gone didn't hurt me as much as the always strikes first bullshit.
Do you still have Teclis?
No, we don't have any named characters in High Elves right now. Actually, the only named characters are in Bretonia and Tomb Kings at the moment. They're always in RP journals.
Okay.
And to be fair, they're not wild. Like, I don't feel like they're out of place.
Are you expecting to see Teclis and Tyrion when you get your...
If you watched my video where I talked about all the High Elves and what they were doing, which was a very popular video, and I'm going to be doing more of that. I'm going to be doing one for Wood Elves next.
That video was on. Just
didn't retain it?
It just faded out after a while.
Well,
I can only take so much elf info in.
Well, next up I'm just going to do Wood Elves, then I'm going to do Dwarves. Or I could do Dwarves first, because that way you'll listen to it. In the current time setting, all the heroes aren't, like, the heroes we know from 8th edition are about 30 to 40, maybe 50 years from their very pivotal moment of when they become badasses. Like, they're known. Like, they're not nobodies, but they're not what we know them as. So, could we see them? Yes. They won't be as powerful. I feel for High Elves that we'll actually get a new model, and it'll be Finnebar the Phoenix King.
Oh.
Because there's never a model for him. He's always talking about being out and about. He's reestablishing the trade. He is who he is in this time period fully. And actually, by the time we get to the 8th edition, he starts declining, oddly enough. But it would be a fun way to have a cool model. That's what I think we're going to get. I think we'll get Finnebar as our new model.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think... I honestly... The only thing I can think of for dwarfs is, like I said, that I assume it's going to be the High King
Thorgrim Grudgebearer.
I don't know if it's going to be Thorgrim or not.
Was is
He was.
actually I need to look. I don't know. I think he's High King still right now at this time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's
Spoilers for the show.
because yeah. I don't know. But yeah. So like I said, whether it's Thorgrim or not, I feel we're getting at least a generic kit that you can do that on, where you can make him a High King on a 3-person
Yeah.
shield, and I think we'll be able to get that shield. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a pack with a shield and an O stone, so you can
Yeah.
buy that kit and put it on your other guys.
That'd be fun. I hope that would be a fun kit to have. But as far as name characters, I'm trying to think what you might have.
I did notice. I did notice an interesting rule that I didn't realize until recently. Did you notice that there's a rule in there that when the High King on Shield Bearer declares issues a challenge, it cannot be rejected?
Yes, I think that's been. I think that was way in 8th edition too. He can't reject one, and you can't stop. You can't deny his.
Right.
Just funny. It'll be fun.
Oh, if I had more than 3 inches.
Well, I look forward to seeing you on the battlefield of those dwarves. But for now,
Soon.
we'll wrap up. Next week, everybody, because I don't think there'll be any major Age Sigmar news for us out of nowhere. For us, that's important enough for us to talk about. We will probably do the Old World show, whether it's me, Matt, me, Neil, me, Dave, whoever, whoever doesn't need a break and wants to talk Old World for an hour and a half to 2 hours with me. Probably what we'll do is we'll probably build some lists of what we're thinking about, of what we're wanting to run right now, and kind of theory craft off that, and just kind of honestly, I think it'd be fun if we maybe whoever I'm with, maybe 3 people. If Matt, you want to come back next week,
Yeah.
we each make 2 lists, one narrative and fun, and then one that's for competitive, and then we take turns looking at each other's lists on the competitive side and how we would improve it based upon our knowledge of that army. Because we all have different armies, so
Yeah.
but
Interesting.
We'll figure it out. But next week will be the Old World show. We will go deep on it again for the whole show, not for most of it, and then half-ass the battle scrap. No, I'm kidding. We actually, I think our hobby time was just as long as our main topic, so it was a fun one tonight. So Matt, anything you want to say before we go out? Any previews on Big M for this coming month?
Yeah, I will. Our topic is probably also going to be the Battlescroll. We're going to go a little more in depth. Probably talk about kind of the impact of the meta on there. Other than that, we're going to have a good time. We're going to complain about some stuff, and we'll get things going.
Sounds good. All right, buddy. We will see you next week here, and if not sooner with other videos. But until then, stay Stormcast strong and happy hobbying.